Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 7, Book 72, number 794. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet had big feet and a good-looking face, and have not seen anybody like him after him. Narrated Anas. The Prophet had big feet and hands. Narrated Anas or Jabir bin Abdullah. The Prophet had big hands and feet, and I have not seen anybody like him after him. Volume 7, Book 72, number 795. Narrated by Mujahid. We were with Ibn Abbas and the people mentioned Ad-Dajjal. Someone said, the word kafir, unbeliever, is written in between his, Ad-Dajjal's, eyes. Ibn Abbas said, I have not heard the Prophet saying this, but he said, as regards Abraham, he looks like your companion, i.e. the Prophet, Muhammad, and as regards Moses, he is a brown curly-haired man riding a camel and reined with a strong jute rope, as if lamb, now looking at him getting down in the valley and saying, Labbaik. Volume 7, Book 72, number 796. Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. I heard Umar saying, whoever braids his hair should shave it, on finishing Ram. You'd better not do something like Talbid. Ibn Umar used to say, I saw Allah's apostle with his hair stuck together with gum. Volume 7, Book 72, number 797. Narrated by Ibn Umar. I heard Allah's apostle, while he was in the state of Ram and his hair was stuck together with gum, saying, Labbaik, Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la shanka laka labbaik. In alhamda wan nimata laka wal mulk, la shanka lak. He did not add anything to those words. See Hadith number 621, Volume 2. Volume 7, Book 72, number 798. Narrated by Hafsa. The wife of the Prophet, I said, O Allah's Apostle, why have the people finished their ihram after performing the Umrah while you have not finished your Ram after your Umrah? He said, I have done talbid of my hair, and have decorated my hadis with garlands, so I shall not finish my Ram till have slaughtered my hadi, animal for sacrifice. Volume 7, Book 72, number 799. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. The Prophet used to copy the people of the scriptures in matters in which there was no order from Allah. The people of the scripture used to let their hair hang down while the pagans used to part their hair. So the Prophet let his hair hang down first, but later on he parted it. Volume 7, Book 72, number 800. Narrated by Aisha. As if I am now looking at the shine of the hair parting of the Prophet while he was in the state of Ram. Volume 7, Book 72, number 801. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Once I stayed overnight in the house of my aunt Maimuna bint al-Harith, and Allah's Apostle was with her as it was her turn. Allah's Apostle got up to offer the night prayer. I stood on his left, but he took hold of my 2 locks of hair and made me stand on his right. Volume 7, Book 72, number 802. Narrated by Abu Bish. the above hadith, but he quoted, Ibn Abbas said, took hold of my two braids on my head. Volume 7, Book 72, number 803. Narrated by Ubaydullah bin Hafs. That Umar bin Nafi told him that Nafi, Mawla, Abdullah had heard Umar saying, I heard Allah's apostle forbidding al-Qazar. Ubaydullah added, I said, what is al-Qazar? Ubaydullah pointed towards his head to show us and added, Nafi said, it is when a boy has his head shaved leaving a tuft of hair here and a tuft of hair there. Ubaydullah pointed towards his forehead and the sides of his head. Ubaydullah was asked, does this apply to both girls and boys? He said, I don't know, but Nafi said, the boy. Ubaydullah added, I asked Nafi again, and he said, as for leaving hair on the temples and the back part of the boy's head, there is no harm, but al-Qazar is to leave a tuft of hair on his forehead unshaved while there is no hair on the rest of his head, and also to leave hair on either side of his head. Volume 7, Book 72, number 804. Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. Allah's apostle forbade al-Qazar, leaving a tuft of hair here and there after shaving one's head. Volume 7, Book 72, number 805. Narrated by Aisha. I applied perfume to the Prophet with my own hands when he wanted to assume the state of Ihram, and I also perfumed him at Mina before he departed from there, to perform Tawaf al-Afada. Volume 7, Book 72, number 806. Narrated by Aisha. I used to perfume Allah's apostle with the best scent available till I saw the shine of the scent on his head and shine beard. Volume 7, Book 72, number 807. Narrated by Sa'd. A man peeped into the house of the Prophet through a hole while the Prophet was scratching his head with a midrai, a certain kind of comb. On that the Prophet said to him, if I had known you had been looking, then I would have pierced your eye with that instrument, because the asking of permission has been ordained so that one would not see things unlawfully. Volume 7, Book 72, number 808. Narrated by Aisha. I used to comb the hair of Allah's apostle during my periods. Volume 7, Book 72, number 809. Narrated by Aisha. As above, 808. Volume 7, Book 72, number 810. Narrated by Aisha. The Prophet used to like to start from the right side as far as possible in combing and in performing ablution. Volume 7, Book 72, number 811. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, Allah said, every good deed of Adam's son is for him except fasting, it is for me. And I shall reward the fasting person for it. Verily, the smell of the mouth of a fasting person is better to Allah than the smell of musk. Volume 7, Book 72, number 812. Narrated by Aisha. Used to perfume the Prophet before his assuming the state of with the best scent available. Volume 7, Book 72, number 813. Narrated by Thumama bin Abdullah. Anas never used to refuse a gift of scent and used to say that the Prophet never used to refuse a gift of scent. Volume 7, Book 72, number 814. Narrated by Aisha. During Hajjat al-Wada, I perfumed Allah's apostle with darira with my own hands, both on his assuming ihram and on finishing it. Volume 7, Book 72, number 815. Narrated by Abdullah. Allah has cursed those women who practice tattooing and those who get themselves tattooed, and those who remove their face hairs, and those who create a space between their teeth artificially to look beautiful, and such women as change the features created by Allah. Why then should I not curse those whom the Prophet has cursed? And that is in Allah's book. I.e. his saying, and what the apostle gives you take it and what he forbids you abstain from it. 59.7. Volume 7, Book 72, number 816. Narrated by Humayd bin Abdur Rahman bin Auf. That in the year he performed Hajj, he heard Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan, who was on the pulpit and was taking a tuft of hair from one of his guards, saying, "Where are your religious learned men? I heard Allah's apostle forbidding this, false hair, and saying, the children of Israel were destroyed when their women started using this." Narrated Abu Hurairah, the Prophet said, Allah has cursed the lady who artificially lengthens her or someone else's hair, and the one who gets her hair lengthened, and the one who tattoos herself or someone else, and the one who gets herself tattooed.